Okay, we see this situation every single day, and I know you're seeing it every single day out in the field, and you probably have a way that you have handled it in the past. Unfortunately, after you watch this video, you're going to know better, so now the expectation is going to be that you handle it differently moving forward. So you have a fire door that's been installed with a butt hinge, or let's say you're planning on installing a continuous hinge, but we didn't think ahead to have the fire label moved. Typically, the fire label is going to be on the hinge side, on the frame and the door. The frame, you may not be able to do anything about the location of the label due to the fact that it's likely gonna come embossed. However, oftentimes you can order your fire door to have the label on the top rail. If that didn't happen, or if we're retrofitting this continuous hinge, there are some things that cannot happen. You cannot remove that label and move it to the top rail. I repeat, you cannot remove that label. You are not approved, accredited, qualified, permitted to remove that label and move it to the top rail. Why am I saying it so many times? Because these are relatively new codes. It's relatively new that these standards are being enforced. So what was the practical thing to do in the past? Just remove the label and put it on the top rail. I completely understand the next time you see this in the field, how tempting it is going to be to remove that label. It would be extremely tempting for me as well, and it seems very common sense, but you are not qualified to remove that label and put it on the top rail. Okay, so we can't do that. Now, instead of doing that, we're going to modify the continuous hinge then, okay? So I've heard it said in a lot of different classes that as you're being taught how to install hardware, you know you don't want to block that label, so you actually modify the hardware, in this case the continuous hinge, so that you can still see the label. No, that very likely is going to go against the manufacturer's specifications. There's no reason. It's a whole lot more work and planning for you to cut out a hole in your continuous hinge, now, you know, creating damage and modifications that cannot be undone to a brand new continuous hinge that's already fire rated. We don't want to make any modifications to it. Okay, so Kelsey, you're telling me I can't move the fire label, I can't cut the continuous hinge. What do you want me to do? I want you to call us. Call us when you know that you're going to be installing continuous hinges, and we will plan and come out and re-certify the door and the frame after the hinge has been installed. And we will ensure that everything has been done properly, it's code compliant, and you can move on with your project. And the earlier on you let us know, the better we can plan and not have any rush fees to deal with. We'll get out there and get it taken care of as efficiently as we can, but let's make sure that moving forward we're all doing the right thing. A continuous hinge is going to be a really great improvement to that assembly. Let's just make sure we do it right.